Today, we're going to talk about why ISO standards are updated and what those updates mean in practice for organizations. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you can stay updated on future content related to ISO standards, certification, and management systems. Now let's start with a common question. Why do ISO standards change over time? And why are some standards revised more frequently than others? For example, ISO 9001 has remained on the 2015 version for many years, while other standards undergo updates more frequently. The answer is simple. ISO standards are not static documents. They evolve together with the world. Changes in technology, legislation, market expectations, cybersecurity, sustainability, governance, and society itself all influence the relevance of management system standards. As organizations evolve, standards must evolve as well. That is why ISO conducts what is called a systematic review process. This review is performed by ISO technical committees composed of specialists from different industries and countries. During this process, the committee evaluates whether a standard still remains adequate, requires adjustments, needs a full revision, should receive only a small amendment, or, in some cases, should even be withdrawn entirely. Several outcomes are possible during a review cycle. The committee may decide that the standard remains valid as it is, or they may conclude that significant changes are necessary, requiring a completely new edition of the standard. In some situations, only minor modifications are needed. These are called amendments. And this brings us to an important distinction. What is the difference between an amendment and a full revision? An amendment is usually a small, targeted update to an existing requirement. A good example is the climate change amendment introduced across ISO management system standards. This amendment added a requirement for organizations to consider climate change issues within the organizational context analysis. The structure of the standard itself did not change significantly. It was a focused update. Organizations simply needed to evaluate how the amendment affected their management systems and make the necessary adjustments. A full revision, however, is much broader. This is what we typically call a transition. For example, when a standard moves from one major version to another, such as from ISO 37001:2016 to ISO 37001:2025, organizations must undergo a formal transition process. That transition may involve new requirements, modified requirements, removed requirements, new expectations regarding governance, risk management, leadership, or operational controls. In these cases, organizations must study the new version carefully, perform a gap analysis, review existing processes, update documentation and controls, and prepare for a transition audit conducted by the certification body. After successful transition, a new certificate is issued under the updated version of the standard. Now, another important point. Sometimes organizations notice that the publication year differs between the international ISO version and the local translated version. For example, an international ISO standard may have been published in English in 2016, but the translated national version may only have been officially published in 2017. This does not mean the content changed. It simply reflects the time required for translation and local publication. The technical requirements remain equivalent. Now let's discuss what these updates mean in practice for organizations. Whenever a standard is updated, organizations must evaluate whether their management system still aligns with the revised requirements. This includes reviewing organizational context, risks and opportunities, processes and controls, strategic direction, operational practices, and documented information. Standards evolve because continuous improvement is one of the core principles behind ISO management systems, and continuous improvement applies not only to organizations, but also to the standards themselves. As the world changes, management systems must adapt. Organizations that monitor these updates proactively usually transition more smoothly and maintain stronger governance maturity. So the key message is this: ISO updates are not simply bureaucratic changes. They are responses to real changes happening in business, technology, society, and global expectations. And organizations that embrace these updates strategically are usually better prepared for the future. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.